Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of the Hyperconscious Podcast. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode where we sat down and did a 2019 year-end review. Today, for episode number 277, we are going to talk about how to set the right intentions for 2020 to make 2020 your best year yet.
Speaking of making 2020 your best year yet, first I want you to go to www.topnotchlive2020.com. Click on Get Your Tickets Now. Folks, we have a big, full immersion, full day, 8-hour event, 8 speakers, 2 Q&A panels, hour and a half break for lunch. You're going to leave with a full workbook of an executable game plan of how to make 2020 the best year of your life. Kevin and I have been to several full immersion networking events, and they have changed our lives. The people we met, the distinctions we made, you've heard it time and time again on this podcast. Do not miss this. If you want 2020 to be different than 2019, which I'm assuming you do, like we do, like we're going to get into, you need to do something different. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable in this room, but it's going to be the best kind of discomfort. And once you get past that and face your fears, you're going to be a transformed human being.
And speaking of setting intentions, I set the intention to make sure that I did something in Hyperconscious Nation every day. I am 2 for 2 on that.
2 for 2.
Thus far. But if you want to join our group of like-minded individuals, we're focused on growth, breakthroughs, talking about the stuff that matters, the ability to be vulnerable, and all of the habits. I just posted about James Clear, Atomic Habits, and how that book was absolute fire, and that changed things for me. You can go to the hyperconsciouspodcast.com, click join #HyperconsciousNation, and you will be entered into that private Facebook group, and you will see Alan and myself in there more often, we promise.
Daily. As a matter of fact, we're about to go live after this episode. We've set that intention as well. Okay, so we whiteboarded prior to our Top Notch Live team call to prep for this episode. At the top of the whiteboard, it says Kevin 2020 intentions. We did the same thing in 2019 under 3 categories. We have health/fitness, category 1, wealth/career, category 2, and then love/relationships, category 3. Let's go through these. And the reason we're doing this too, it might sound like it's about Kevin, but it's really not. It's giving you a framework of how to set up your life in a well-designed, balanced way to make sure 2020 really is the best year of your life.
And it'll teach you how to set specific goals. So clarity, again, we always talk about clarity and how important it is. You'll see that some of these are, there's room for interpretation, but the ones that have like monetary or numeric values, they're specific. So that way at the end of the year, I can actually check in and say like how close did I actually get, and it'll give me a benchmark to use throughout the year.
Benchmarks are everything.
So
the first category, health and fitness. Kevin has set 5 intentions under each of these. Want to go through them?
Yes. So if you listen to last year's episode, you will see the same. So number 1 is to heal and maintain injuries. Again, so this is one of those things that isn't extremely measurable, but after I read these off, I'll tell you what I'm doing on the daily, okay, to get these things. So heal and maintain injuries. I have a problem with my shoulder I'm trying to fix. I actually have an appointment next week with a physical therapist to look at it. So I'm off to a strong start.
Matt's mother.
Full-time Muay Thai. I actually set that as an intention in 2019. Did not come to fruition. I actually did go. I did 3 classes, but then I didn't do any more because there were other things to be done. Eat more natural foods. Shout out to Mark Metry for talking to Alan and I about that. I think my diet is absolutely garbage, and that means my thoughts are probably garbage a lot of the times as well, so I'm going to try to do that as well. I want to order pre-made meals. So one of the reasons I don't eat a lot of healthy foods is because I don't feel like cooking. Straight up, I'm lazy when it comes to that, and I'd rather be working than cooking. So that's something that if I could just have like an Icon, there's a delivery service called Icon Meals. They'll literally do your macros for you. They cook the food, they send it to you. You microwave it and eat it. I'm all about that. And then meditation daily. That is something that I have been doing so far in the new year. So those 5 things, those are my intentions for the year. Now, how do I break those down? Because again, this is about setting intentions. You can set the best intentions in the world, but your yearly intentions have to get broken down into monthly, which get broken down into weekly, which get broken down into daily.
Yeah.
So my daily, this is the overview of a year. How do those 5 break down to the daily? So heal and maintain injuries, mobility every morning. That's why I do it. Right. Foam rolling every morning. That's why I do it.
45 minutes.
Yes. Full-time Muay Thai, you'll actually see that later in the daily. Eat more natural foods. You'll see that later in the intentions. Order pre-made meals again later, and then meditate daily. That's what I'm doing daily. So that's health.
How long for meditation?
I do 10 minutes a day right now.
You know what's interesting? So these I'm seeing right now, 2 of these 5 are from Mark. Who you are
Yes.
around is who you become. Like Mark Metry convinced us that the microbiome and gut health is so critical to our cognitive function. Obviously, we need to function optimally. We're realizing that now more than ever, that
Yeah.
we're trying to do more than ever.
Yeah.
And then the meditate daily, he said that that's like the biggest mistake we're making. And my Aunt Joanne, a coach of mine as well, said that if these 3 questions will be fast, she was asked these 3 questions. What's the best money you've ever spent? What's the best time you've ever invested? And what's the best app you've ever downloaded, I think? And she said it's the same 3. And it's it's a specific app for meditation. So it's interesting. The more and more Kevin and I learn about really successful achievers who are living life on their own terms, meditation is like, I had no idea my aunt meditated.
I had no idea a lot of people meditated.
That's very common now.
I know.
Like for anyone who's hyperconscious.
LeBron James is on the Calm app. He has things now where he talks. He's like partnered with them.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's like
It's a
a whole
thing. And then we heard about Kobe in the dark room.
Yeah.
Like in the morning. Yeah, it's a thing. It's probably one of our biggest bottlenecks, honestly.
Yeah. If you're listening, right? So we break things down into health, wealth, and love. For health, like what do you want to do? What happened last year? I think this is a pain point for a lot of people. What did you say you wanted to accomplish in terms of your health last year that you didn't? Start with those things, right? Muay Thai's on there. I wanted to do that last year. It didn't happen. It's still on there because I still want to do it. But what do you want to accomplish this year? Maybe you want to lose 50 pounds. Great. That is a great thing to set out for the year. But it's not going to happen unless you start doing things daily. That's the biggest. If you turn this episode off now, your yearly intentions will not happen if you don't turn them into daily habits and pay attention to them. Again, David Meltzer. Intention plus attention equals coincidence. Why? Because when you set an intention and then you pay attention to it, you will do the things necessary to accomplish that. And if you don't...
Eventually,
yeah.
Right.
And if you don't, you're going to end up saying like, oh, another year with, I didn't lose any weight. Well, What did you do to change that?
one thing I'll also add, when you're doing this, if you really want 2020 to be very different and for some reason you can't make it to our event, even though I hope you can, do this exercise and then go one step deeper and create 5 reasons why you want to accomplish each. With my clients, when I first started coaching, I remember they would set a goal, current weight, goal weight, and then I would say, okay, your homework tonight is to write out 25 reasons why you want to achieve that goal. Once you unpack the layers of why you're doing what you're doing, you're going to be far more motivated. And when you try to come up with a bunch of reasons, you're going to realize that some of the reasons you're doing what you're doing is not what you thought. And again, that's what hyperconscious is. Like, okay, let's just do it right now. Why do you want to meditate? Give me 5.
Less anxiety.
Right.
I think I'll think more clearly.
Right.
For me, it gives me like a reboost of energy.
Yeah.
10 minutes and then I'm good to go. If when I don't meditate, I don't sleep as well. That's like a legitimate thing for me.
Right.
And I have a lot of really good ideas when I meditate.
Perfect. Those are 5 reasons. Picture how much more likely he is to meditate daily once he knows those reasons consciously.
Right.
Here's the thing. Let's say I wanted you to go to our event, and I do. I have to stack the reasons why you should go. That's what we do at the beginning of this episode. Why aren't we doing that with ourselves? We should sell ourselves on our own intentions.
That's fire.
Thank you, man.
All right, let me talk.
Wealth and career.
So we did an episode recently on money and why you should love it. So don't be, again, if one of your things is to become financially free, do not be afraid to set a numeric goal.
I'll figure out what episode that was.
Please do. I appreciate that. So number 1, I want to have an income of $500,000 this year. Number 2, I want to do 30 speeches and live events total. Number 3, I want to not only start Kevin's Kids charity, but I also want to do random charitable events. Like I still do, but I want to be able to do them more. I want to be able to send somebody $500 through Venmo that reaches out to me and says they're struggling or whatever it is. That's a thing for me. 6 live hyperconscious events and using money as a tool, mastering money. So again, this is where I said these things were going to come in, right? Eat more natural foods. How am I going to do that? I'm going to do that by ordering pre-made meals. How am I going to do that? By becoming financially free.
These are all connected.
They're all connected.
Yeah.
But I want you to say, and this is the reason why. So a couple months ago, Alan and I said, like, how are we going to rate what we're doing? What is the one word that I'm going to use for 2020? It's a couple words, but the top 3 is probably love, impact, and profitability.
Yeah.
Okay? So imagine this. Every day when you wake up, you say that. Love, impact, profitability. Love, impact, profitability. Every chance you get to do something that is profitable is now something you're going to pay attention to.
It's on your radar.
Right.
That
is what I do every day. I have some of these things written up on my whiteboard in my office, and before a call with a prospect, I look and say, this is how much I want to accomplish. I have to get on this call. Whether or not I want to,
Oh yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Got to do it.
I was on a tough call today. I didn't want to pick up.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
So, but again,
Glad you did it though.
yes.
Right.
Yeah. But and that's the thing. The thing about an intention is it's useless unless you pay attention to it.
I know.
And it's also going to keep you on the right track. If one of your goals is to save $80,000 out of my $120,000 income, when you're driving by McDonald's and you pay attention to that intention, you're going to say, I have food at home. I have chicken at home. I don't need to do this.
I know.
Why spend the extra money?
I know.
So you're going to give yourself objections to it.
Whereas if you never set the intention and didn't pay attention, you'd go into McDonald's potentially.
Right, because it's easier.
Right.
Because you're focusing on your hunger, not your goals.
Oh, that's fire. That's absolute fire. I remember a Wayne Dyer quote super fast. He said this. He said, whenever you set a goal, you must be willing, you must expect it of yourself. So, for example, 6 hyperconscious live events. One of them we're co-hosting with obviously top-notch scholars, but we intend to do 6 live events in 2020. What do you expect of yourself to achieve that? We expect to get the right speakers. We expect to think about it every day. We expect to jump on these weekly calls. We expect to fill those rooms. We expect to plug if the intention was never set, you would never be required to step up.
No.
And I think that's the important piece here that I don't want people to miss out on, which is set intentions, not just to get the intention, but for what it will force you to become. It's going to force us to be better at influence, better at podcasting, better at, collaborating with people. It's going to force us to meet people we normally wouldn't have met. It's going to force us to step up to the plate when we're actually tired. It's going to force us to stretch and grow. When you're setting your intentions, try to focus on who I'm going to have to become in order to achieve these things. I think that's the most important. The last thing I'll say, too, is why you should love money. It was a Small Talks episode. It was number 268.
268.
If you have not listened to that and you want to talk a little bit about wealth.
Yes, I think that's huge. I think setting an income goal for your year it can't be a bad thing.
No, it's very important.
It's gonna be a good thing because you're gonna have and say I set $500,000 and I come up 50%. That's still better if I set no goal. Probably,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
It's more than likely not. More than likely better.
The only problem is you won't feel as good about it. But as long as you're hyper-conscious, you can.
Right.
So we'll be transparent here. We set an intention last year for 1 million listens in 2019. We didn't hit that, but we got way closer than if we didn't set it.
Right.
And we're setting an even bigger goal of 5 million listens in 2020.
Yeah.
And let's say we get half of that. That's still 2.5 million people we got to impact. You gotta, if you want to squat 500 pounds, it's going to require more of you than 135. And that's where the real value is in the long term, even though you might get injured.
Yes, like I have been, but still strong.
You squat 500.
No, not 500.
Not 500.
400. All right, so then the third one. So we got health, wealth, and this is love and relationships. This is probably my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I do like money, though, as well. And I like getting jacked. I like love. I think I love love the most. So love and relationships. Number 1, I want to do 1 weekend away per month with my baby girl, Taryn. Now, again, these are all connected.
Yeah.
I can't do 1 weekend away per month. Say it costs $500 to go away per weekend. That's $2,000 a month. Or sorry, that's however much a year. I thought that was
12 times 500.
6,000. So that's $6,000 a year.
Wow.
in vacations alone. Now, if I don't make $500,000, it's going to be a lot harder to do that. These are all connected. Weekly date days. So every Sunday we have family day where we spend time together and I don't do any work. Usually we'll go out to Dunch where we...
Dunch?
Yeah, it's called Dunch. It's dinner or lunch. We do early dinners because we're old.
Right.
So, it's nice to be able to go out
days.
and I don't want to have to worry about how much it costs or any of that, right?
Right.
And I want to make sure that I have the time to do that as well. And this is part of the schedule. Bi-weekly family time. So again, last year for my intentions, I said I was going to spend more time with my family, and I didn't because, again, I've been busier than ever. And I probably didn't pay as much attention to it as I should have. Quarterly. Why? Because it takes me away from work.
Right.
It takes me away from work. Quarterly team getaways. So as you know, Tiff and Amy are working with us now. They are the best. We are blessed to have them. Alan and I, or maybe it's just me, and I'm going to have to front this bill, but Alan and I want to be able to, meet up with them every 3 months.
Yeah, every quarter.
And do
At
something
least.
cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to be able to fly Tiff out and go do something, right? Go whitewater raft. I don't know, something cool, like a team activity.
Right.
I think that'd be absolutely fire. And again, that the more money, the easier that is.
Bring the team closer together.
Bring the team closer
more
together.
effective as
and
well.
then fifth and last but not least,
and I came up with this.
Live with Taryn. So we have been talking about that. But again, most of this goes to the financial. Jeez, he's laughing over.
I came up with this one. No, I didn't.
No, right.
No, I thought of it. Yeah.
Most of this comes into the financial part of it because, again, we're going to have a lot of money going out with these events and the travels and the things that we do. So that's why this year for us is the year of profitability.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things that we're focusing on because I think we have a very good foundation built and it's time to dress that building up.
It really is. Dress that building up.
Yeah, not bad, right?
So the mastery question, I use money as a tool, and I want to master money. I've set the intention for that as well. Can I consistently and sustainably produce the outcomes I want and enjoy the process? We enjoy what we do, but we need to open the profitability a little bit more, and we need to master that. And I think that will make all of these intentions flow more readily.
So if you're listening to this episode and you haven't set your 2020 intentions yet, break them up into health, wealth, and love. And again, I have a relationship, so my love is not to find somebody to love. It's different, right? It's different.
Right.
My health and fitness isn't get to the gym and lose X amount of weight. It's to get better in the gym. It's to transition to Muay Thai. It's, to feel better, to eat different foods. Your intentions are going to dictate your year.
Yeah.
And whether or not you pay attention to them is going to dictate whether or not you succeed. So don't be afraid to sit down and write these out. Don't be afraid to tell people. Like, tell the people that you trust and you love that, like, these are my goals this year. Because you never, like, Matt is so focused on saving money. And he knows I'm focused on saving money. So he'll give me a little crap sometimes, like, dude, you don't have to order out. You have food here. Cool. Thanks, man. I'm ordering out, though, because I'm an idiot. But the people around you can only support you to the level that they know what you want and what you value and what you're working on and your goals and your ambitions and your intentions, your desires.
I will disclaimer that a little because I agree 100%. But
you got to trust them, though.
Yeah, you have to. They have to want your best interest at heart, and they have to be aware of what it will actually take. So if you've had people take the wind out of your sails before when it comes to goals and dreams and sacrificing today for a brighter tomorrow, be very careful about how much you ask for their support, especially if they have low awareness of what it will really take. Let me give you an example. Let's say you want to get really ripped in 2020, and they are out of shape, and they like, oh, you don't have to go to the gym today. Like, you don't need to do that. You can go 2 days a week, and it'll be fine. Don't listen to those people, because what you should be doing is listening to people who have the result you want and who are putting in the work necessary to achieve that. And I guess if you're going to tell your intentions to people, make sure they're not the type of people who are also going to make you feel bad when you're not following through, because the last thing you want to do is get kicked while you're down.
So then if you feel like you're that kind or not that kind of person, if you feel like you have those kind of people in your lives, you should set under the love relationships one to get around growth-minded people who are supportive. I think that'd be a great intention because that would bring you to networking events like ours. That would bring you to Meetup. Like, you go on Meetup and look at entrepreneur things or artist things or musician things or whatever it is. So, and again, that was one of our intentions last year. It's not a coincidence that we're coached by Dave Meltzer, that we're good friends with Mark Metry, that Evan Carmichael is a buddy of ours. Last year, one of our intentions was to grow our network.
I should find this same thing from last year.
Find it.
If you can hold space.
Yeah, I can
I'll
hold
ask you a
space.
question.
Yeah, ask me a question.
Tell the listeners something about you.
About me?
About you, Kevin.
About me. Wow. Well, I was just a wee boy. And I don't know. What about me?
I'll ask you a question. Okay. What is your favorite line item?
Muay Thai.
Okay. Why?
I have been watching mixed martial arts, boxing, and all forms of combat sports since I was probably 15. I used to train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I trained wrestling for a while, and I used to want to be a professional mixed martial artist until I tore my shoulder, and then I realized this isn't going to work, and then I didn't do it anymore. So who knows if I kept at it, what I'd be doing. But I think for me, there's nothing better than feeling physically capable. And when you feel like, one big fear for most people is getting into a fight. Imagine if you knew you were better than most people. You would never be afraid of it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a family one day, and I want to be able to make sure that I take care of my family and my future children and my friends. And if you're at an event with me and somebody decides to get weird, I can Hadouken them.
Hadouken.
Oh, there's so many pictures of you, and there's brutal.
There's a lot.
Saw some topless ones there.
Well, a fitness model.
How are we doing over there?
We're doing real well, man.
Doesn't seem
trying
like
to figure
it.
this out. I'm
Can
trying to find us in Florida.
Can you go by
I
month?
found. Nope. Hold on. I got it. There's us in Florida.
There's
us with T-Mac, Sean Trina.
Sean Trina.
JB
Shout out to Sean
Frank.
Trina. Shout out to JB Frank. Shout out to T-Mac.
All right, I'm finding it. Hold on. This will happen. So notice how many reasons he has under that one line item. Like, okay, stack the benefits of what you're going to get. And then here's the other thing. What's the reverse of that?
I was going to say.
Let's say you don't eat more natural foods. What's the downside of not doing that thing?
I mean, I think there's a lot of downside. Number one, you don't know what you're leaving on the table. So, again, spending time with Mark and seeing the level of success that he has, and one of the things he attributes that to is the food he eats. And I've always been the dude who eats pizza and ice cream and gets away with it, quote unquote. I never saw any negative side effects, so I just kept doing it. What do we got here?
Found the photo of Kevin's 2019 intentions.
Brutal.
Can I read them?
Yeah, you want to read them?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Success on Your Terms in 2019 was an episode that we did back in Florida. Health, number 1 was mobility. Wow, you crushed that one.
Right.
Strong work.
Not bad, eh?
Number 2, more veggies. You
I
did
did.
do the shake.
I did. I have
What's
shakes.
it called? Micro shakes?
My micro shakes.
Right. Could do better, but did well.
Take it easy.
I'm just saying. Number 3, strength. You did.
I did a lot of
You
strength.
absolutely did a lot of strength. Wow, this is interesting. Okay, Muay Thai is circled. So last time we had you
Picked
circle
one
your
of
favorite
5,
one of
yeah.
each. We'll have to do that again. That's the one that you didn't end up doing.
Right.
Interesting. And then number 5, you wanted to get better at cardio. I think that was probably because of the sled challenge incident.
No, I think it was because of the Muay Thai.
Okay.
It was because I think I said, like, if I'm not able to do Muay Thai, at least I can do cardio and I can do the boxing at the gym.
Right. Under wealth, you said you wanted to make 100K?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, you wanted to do something with charity.
Yep.
Number 3, podcast studio. Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda manifested that down here in this basement. Number 4, you wanted to invest money.
I did for a while.
Well, I mean, technically you are. You're investing in the event,
Other
travel, personal development. Number 5, you wanted to do coaching.
I did coaching.
You did.
I did
You
coaching.
did a lot of coaching.
Yes.
Wow. Very cool. All right. Love. Number 1, you wanted an amazing relationship.
I have that.
Wow.
And guys, like, when I wrote that out, I wasn't even close to having that.
Right.
I was like the loneliest I had ever been, probably.
Same, yeah. Number 2, dream team growth.
I
Wow.
would say we have
Dude, we hammered that.
Yeah, we hammered that.
Strong work. Number 3, more mentors.
Yep.
Crushed that one. Number 4, more family time. That one's the one that circled.
Yeah, I jeffed it.
Yep.
Jeffed it.
And then number 5, connect with you.
The listeners.
I still love you. Yeah, to the listeners. That was to the listeners. I
Yeah.
was like, wait, connect with me?
And
You
honestly,
definitely did that.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
I think I did a better job. I definitely did a better job this year than I've done in previous jobs. Again, like if you follow me, and I try to do this. I don't promise it, but I do it more often than not. I try to send everybody that follows me a video. I try to send them a video. After the event at the Mass Maritime, I sent everybody that followed me a video. I don't know how many. And I had genuine conversations with the people that saw the speech, and it was amazing. So it's just, that's always been a thing for me. I don't ever want, and I told you this too. Today, I had somebody reach out that, a listener that I've been talking to for like 2 years.
See.
Yeah, C. Shout out to C. And it was like, it's awesome for somebody to say like, oh, I miss you. We haven't talked in a minute.
Right.
You know? And I've never met C. It's just, I'm a dude on a podcast.
Is she trying to come to the event? Man.
Let's see what I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're out there right now and you want to do this exercise, like the chances of us having, so the last episode was on 2019 review.
3 minutes here.
Yeah. We did 185 podcasts.
Yes.
We did 600% growth of listens. We were on 42 other shows. So there's a lot of things that came about underneath the intentions. So like when we set the true north, I do my flashcard. I try to do it every day, where the true north in the upper left-hand corner, it says a certain phrase. And for all of 2019, it said the Hyperconscious podcast has 1 million listens in 2019. I wrote that for a full year, every day, just about every day. And it's interesting because would we have had 600% growth if I didn't pay attention to that?
Probably not.
Right. So, and there's other things that came of it as well, and this is the point I'm trying to make. Okay, what else did we have to do? Okay, here's a good example. Would we have met Mark Metry had we not set that intention? Because I remember the reason we originally met Mark Metry was because we needed a mentor who was really good at podcasting. Same with Dave Meltzer. We set that intention long before we made it happen. And all of those fell under that main intention of 1 million listens in 2019.
Imagine this. One of your goals is to lose 50 pounds, and one of your goals is to find a significant other. What happens if you find that significant other at the gym and you weren't going to the gym?
Right.
You know, there's so many. That's why all of these connect. Like, you know, if you had to take 3, if you had to take just 3, it's easier said than done.
Let's do one from each category like we did last year.
It would be heal and maintain injuries.
Okay.
From health.
You said it would be Muay Thai.
No, honestly, I think it would be heal and maintain injuries. Yeah.
Right. Under wealth?
Under wealth. That's tough. I would say 500,000.
Yeah.
Because everything else will happen under that.
Exactly.
And then live with Taryn.
Everything else will have to happen under that.
Right.
And then live with Taryn would be the...
Yeah, but if you see, like, it's all connected.
I know.
All of that is connected. All of that is connected. I want to be the best I can in the gym. I want to be the best I can financially, and I want to be the best boyfriend I can. And I know all those will, you know, it's not whether or not I accomplish it. It's how close I do or how close I get and what it'll make of me, and that's what we're playing for. Final 10 seconds. What do you have? 10-second blip.
10-second blip.
10-second blip.
If you're out there right now, the only wrong answer is to not explore what your intentions are for 2020 and the reasons why you want to achieve those things. But remember, you're doing it for a lot more than just getting the result. As a matter of fact, getting the result is probably the least important reason.
I will quote our friend and mentor, David Meltzer, set an intention and pay attention to it, and then coincidence happens. Fire. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this. Up next, we have an interview with Tim Allison. We were lucky enough to meet him at a charity event with Mark Metry. He is an entrepreneur. Screw the naysayers. That's the name of his podcast. That's the name of his book, and he is a defiant man. You tell him no, he will find a way to prove you wrong, and it was a fire episode.
He made a lot happen with very little. Super resourceful. We had a blast. We had a lot of laughs. Great interview. Do not miss that one.
We hope you will enjoy, and we will talk to you on Sunday.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.